Welcome back to episode 12 of Pawns and Patrons, tentatively titled The Froghemith. Strej, I think you had something for us.
Yeah, Strej is struck by inspiration as his fallen comrade Lurjui falls upon death. Echoes of steps coming down the stairs fill up the room as Strej comes down the stairs, taking out his instrument. Humming slowly goes up in volume, echoing as if many voices were singing this song. I'd like everybody to imagine it as a sea shanty. You see the shadow of Strej in the opening as you hear, Lurjui, Lurjui, Knight of the Overlord. Lurjui, Lurjui, come and fight the horde. Lurjui, Lurjui, didn't die in vain. Lurjui, Lurjui, the Froghemith was slain. Hello, dear Overlord Knight. By all means, we are on your side of the fight. That's how we roll. Let's get that scroll. Hello.
Yeah, Estrid, Lanigwed, Sophia, and Hanold are just like huge claps.
Senga too is freaking out. Senga is super into it, and Agnes has to be like, "You're chill." Like, cooler than that.
Lanigwed is over like kneeling down by Mehret and like pulling her shroud over her head and just like brushing a tear away from his eye. Yes, their deaths weren't in vain. And Sophia nods and says, "Frog, if you would, a moment."
Which frog do you speak to?
My apologies.
Strej is in the shadows, like kind of hiding his face. he had to seize the moment, but he knows he's in deep, deep trouble.
Sophia says, my apologies. Is that, could it be Sir Bellon of Mordland?
Why, it is, friend.
But good sir, I had heard that you never traveled anywhere without your horse. Where is your fine steed? I did not see him tethered up above.
These, and he points a froggy finger to the assembled party members. These people took my frog. They held him captive in ransom. They stole the things from his back, and then they left me without my mighty steed. Left me here in this jail to rot. These criminals, all of them.
Doesn't sound like
horse
us.
thieves.
Hanold in the background is writing, stole the horse, left in jail to rot, also sang a song, wanted for crimes. What is it that, hang on, let's remind ourselves what's going on here. Why is Strej wanted? Where is it? I had written like important notes about
Wasn't it
like
for like the brothers, the Chunder brothers?
The Chunder brothers.
the Chunder brothers because you like stole their sword and then
like that.
Oh, hanging dangers. Here it is. Oh my god. This is amazing. I actually don't even have it here.
Sounds like not wanted for anything, actually.
Is it because perhaps you visited the ruined keep in contravention of direct orders from your lord of
Yes,
Tista
it's that.
Cressinish?
Yeah. It's not the Chunder's brothers. They were like a minor petty thing.
Amazing. So the four agents of the Overlord here, they sort of like compare notes. They look at Strej, they look at the note, they look at Strej, they bring out like a yellowed, weathered, like torn edged piece of paper.
Wait. Didn't Bellon have like a Strej mention on his back?
Yeah. Still got that, right?
They turn the portrait around and it looks very much like Strej today.
But does it also look like Bellon?
All
You
frogs
could
really
maybe
look
make the
same.
argument.
I point at Bellon, I'm like, it's them! Strej today! Lying and trying to fool us!
Look at his shirt. It's written Stretch on it. Who do you think we are, a fool?
Stretch, what is your luck score?
It's very high. 16.
Oh my god! Your luck is 16, right?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Oh my god. Holy crap.
This is what you get.
So I'd like to
There's no way
have
this doesn't work.
Stretch start mimicking the body language of Bellin and try to act the same as him in the same voice for every interaction from now on.
Dear brave knights, you recognize me by my tonality, by my posture, by my regal presence. We know each other. Believe not this fool, this liar, this knave.
I nudge when I'm like, it's really horrible acting, honestly. This is pretty unbelievable.
From the stairs, it echoes, "How dare you impersonate me, you fool!"
Hanold does turn to Sophia and says, Sophia, we know not which frog it was who sang the song. The two of you, come hither. Well,
Ellen Ford.
bring thyselves.
Stretch comes forward, like he tosses an instrument, like in the staircase, and then he walks like the same. As
Do you
Bellin.
have an instrument in your inventory?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Oh,
why
no.
I invented that I had one, but I don't.
This is a non-mechanically relevant instrument. Yeah, the four sort of like surround you a little bit. And Hanold says, well then, the two of you, we don't know which one of you is the true Stretch, but we've heard that he has a strong singing voice. We got a tip from an inn on the road over here that he was staying there, sang a song about his crimes. The two of you will sing, and the better singer will very obviously be Stretch. Hanold looks very smug and self-satisfied with his test.
It's genius. It's genius, I tell you.
These guys are smart.
Good sir, how could you ask Froge like me to do anything other than my utmost best when a dishonest frog like that one over there, who impersonates me so, will clearly try to fail and try to sing poorly? You are only finding the dishonest Froge among us with this trap.
Well, if there's still confusion, we'll throw both of you in jail forever.
We'll throw an innocent man into the dungeons?
Look at him speaking so much in such self-doubt. Only a fool would try to defend themselves to such ridiculous accusations.
Hanold steps forward and he puts a hand on your shoulder and he says, my friend, where the Overlord is concerned, guilt and innocence have nothing to do with it.
Huh.
And
So, what are you rolling?
Now sing. There is no rolling for this.
Does Bellin has a beautiful voice? I'd like to think he does.
Bellin will try his absolute best to sing an uplifting song about the glory and the valor that it is to be a knight working for the Overlord, defeating the evil enemies of the world, and bringing order, if not peace, to the people.
And sings his best.
He
And
sings his
it sounds
absolute
like-
best. He would never stand down from a challenge. He would never intentionally perform poorly. That would not be a noble act.
Right. Totally.
Now, I have to say, I think that Bellon, being a noble, might actually be trained in singing.
Probably, yeah.
So I'm willing to give you a D20 on this.
I'll take a 20.
I was really hoping you guys were just both gonna sing for it.
Wow.
It's actually like
Wow.
legitimately touching.
Wow.
Yeah.
A swan
Now-
song, if you will. The final word.
Stretch, being a jester, probably also gets a D20 on this.
Dresh tries to sing poorly at the beginning, but gets really caught up in it, and the end is really good.
Yes, amazing.
So what do I roll? Like a 20 as well?
Yeah, just D20.
Oh god, I'm so scared. Yeah, like I'm almost shaking. I really don't want Stretch to die. Okay. I like he does want to do good, but I think he's really scared.
Hanold looks at Bellon and says, "Yep, this is the frog we heard." And then he just like grabs you by the arm and says, "No, come with us. We'll take you and strap you to a horse and then come back for the Eldritch Scroll of Zarkarzan. The rest of you should probably leave. This is a very dangerous place."
In the name of the Overlord, I demand you release me. I've not done the things you've accused me of. I'm innocent.
I am so pleased that my impersonator is finally taken down. You fool have not even removed the Stretch mention from your back. This is so ridiculous.
Hanold plucks the paper from your back and looks at it and says, "If I could read this, it probably would say Stretch."
This isn't the last you've seen of me, Stretch. I'll come back for you. I'll get you again.
Please don't kill him.
Now, there's a moment here where the four guards are like, wrangling Bellon. Do the rest of you really want to let them take him away?
Yes.
I mean, we want the scroll, right?
Oh, we
Yes.
do.
Them?
We want to loot and we want the scroll.
So I think Babs is just kind of like looking around for the scroll behind the Froghemith while they're occupied with the singing contest.
Yeah, okay. So the knights grab Bellon. And Bellon, are you generally going willingly? As in, you're not like
I'm not
putting
going to
your life
resist
at
arrest.
risk?
That would be unlawful. It's not a knightly thing to do.
Yes. Okay. So the four knights take Bellon and they just like they take you upstairs and outside, out through the front to where the horses are, and there's like some squires out there and whatever. There's a sad moment where they like tell some young lad that his knight will not be returning, and obviously that means that he's no longer a squire and will have to go turn into a pig poop shoveler or whatever. The poor young lad breaks down sobbing, and they just like put you on the back of a horse and like tie your hands with rope, and that's all. But this all takes quite some time. So while Bellon is being wrangled, let's find out what the rest of the party is up to. So, what do the X number of you do?
Babs, like I said, is looking around for that scroll.
Yep. The Froghemith has nothing on its person except for this massive, giant great mace that like burns with red runes.
Could I wield that?
What's your strength, Babs?
14 max, 12 current.
Cool. I think the answer is right now it's a bit heavy for you, but you can tell that like the weight is the kind of weight you're used to handling, especially as like what are you, a brewer? Like you lift and move heavy kegs of ale, so like you're accustomed to this amount of weight.
So why is it heavier now?
Well, because you're weaker, because you spell burnt.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So at your normal maximum strength, you can handle it easily, but right now it'd be a little bit unwieldy.
Does a enlargement spell increase my strength?
Not by the rules. I mean, like, so like I think what this turns into is like you'd be down the dice chain one step, but you'd still be with +1 down the dice chain one step, right? So it'd be 1d16 +1 for your attack with this. Let's double check.
One turn per caster level too, so that might clear up pretty quick. I'm on level
Yeah,
1.
so you've got 10 minutes of enlarge left.
Well, can I carry it without much problem?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna pack it for
Cool.
now. And then I'm looking around like, this was the guard dog of something. So I'm going behind it and looking around. Is there a vault of some kind or something like that?
Yeah, let's see. So both Kate and Lurge, we had lights. and I don't think that the rest of the party has any lights. So there's like just two
Yeah.
burning torches lying on the
I
ground.
go grab one.
I think Beskri would run over Lurjui's body because they were kind of buddies and
Yeah.
kind of just take everything.
Can
All
I
right,
take
let's
one of
see.
the torches on the ground?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
go
for
for
it. So let's see. You emit bright light and low light, 20-foot radius each.
Evie has one too. And equipment.
Save that. So Babs, now you've got light. Cool. And then Evie has some light.
1d3 torch.
Cool. Yeah, go ahead and strike. Well, roll 1d3, and then we'll see how many torches you have. We'll light one of them. One. Do you still want to light it?
You know what? Light looks good. We're good on light.
What is
All
that?
right, cool. And who was the other person who grabbed a light?
Beskri.
Beskri. Yeah, cool. So we'll say bright light, dim light, 20 and whoops. 20 and 20. Save settings. Beskri has a torch and Babs has a torch. Cool. Nice. Okay. So yeah, like a quick little tour of the room. Woo.
Last question. Could Strej loot the fallen knight to get the armor and sword?
Could Strej loot the fallen knight?
Mm-hmm.
So here's what you know. You know that the four remaining knights, Hanold, Sophia, Esther, and Lanagwad, were like affected by the loss of their comrade. This is someone that they knew for a long time. They paid attention to the death after the Froghemith was slain. They went over and settled the body, reclaimed the amulet from around her neck, things like that.
Okay, not good
You
idea.
could totally take the armor. It would take some time, and that would let the knights go and do their stuff. And then when they came back and they found their comrade's corpse without its armor, they would suspect something.
No, okay, I'll leave it. But follow-up question then: could Strej wear the armor of Lurjui?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm gonna
Absolutely.
transfer some. Of Lurjui. No.
Hang on. Lurjui's
I'm-
wearing what kind of armor?
The chainmail eye symbol armor, of course.
So the thing about wearing heavy armor is that I'm pretty sure that the check modifier there, the -5, affects spell casting rolls.
It might not be good. Okay, then I can give it to Beskri.
Let me just double check this. Check penalty. Yes, the check penalty applies to wizard and warlock spell checks made while using this kind of armor.
Okay.
Cleric spell checks are not affected by armor check penalties in this manner. So I
Okay.
wouldn't recommend it for Strej, but maybe it's worth the trade-off.
Not right. I mean, nah. It's okay. I'll give it to Beskri. We're good. We're good. Okay, bye.
Cool. Do of course feel free to recover whatever equipment you want and move it around to your other characters.
Okay.
For example, I would love to make sure that I know who ends up with the gold amulet with the eye symbol on it.
Who had it? It was.
It was Lurjui who had it.
I mean, right now Beskri's just taking everything.
Cool.
So I'm just transferring everything to her.
Beskri. Boop. Saved. Cool. Okay. So Babs, you do a quick tour of the room and you should be able to see the whole thing now. It's a massive cavern. Down over here, next to the door, there's a strange set of levers and knobs forged out of metal sticking out of the wall. And there's a huge double door right here.
And this, what am I looking at right here? Sorry.
So if I
No,
if
this
I sort of-
little angel person.
Oh, that was the
Mace.
mace. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Gotcha.
was when the Froghemith threw his mace across the room. I was using the angel
Gotcha.
person to mark where the mace was. and
Gotcha.
I didn't realize I had left it on the board. So yes,
I see.
Over here against the wall, there's like this big box of levers with a like set into the wall, right next to this massive double doors.
Can I open the double doors?
So let me think about this. You have correctly intuited the purpose of this box. Being a wizard yourself, and understanding of arcane objects such as this, you suspect that this box can be used to open the door. On the left, there is a vertical blue lever. On the bottom, there is a horizontal green lever. The blue lever is currently set at the top. The green lever is currently set at the left. And there is like, like those switches that have a cover where you have to lift the cover and then like flick the switch. There's a red switch that's currently down under a cover, and you could lift the cover and flick the switch. What do you do?
I pull the blue lever.
Okay. You pull on the blue lever, trying to pull it down, and it doesn't move in your hand. You can feel that it's like blocked by
Stuck.
something. It wiggles a little bit, but it doesn't move.
I'll try the green lever.
Okay. You slide the green lever from the left over to the right. There's a grinding sound. And the huge double doors just grind open. Let's see. Dynamic lighting.
Please, no second Froghemith.
There is a second frog. No.
No.
There's no second Froghemith, but there is a massive chamber with a wrought stone floor beyond, and it's like a spherical circle.
Is there like a pedestal in the middle with a scroll on it?
There is not, that you can see, a pedestal with a scroll, but the central like 25 feet of the room are like a slightly raised, like a 2-inch raised like stone platform, basically.
Does it look like the kind of thing that if I stepped on it, it would depress and trip a trap?
Not being a rogue or a thief, I don't think you know terribly well. You could like poke it and find out.
I guess what I mean is it like, the ground slopes to a point, or is it like, here is a 2-inch platform on the ground?
Are you going up close to it to examine it?
I sure will.
Cool. Yeah. You step up close, you look at it closely. What's your luck?
9 max 7 current.
Okay. You can't tell if there's like a gap between this platform and the floor, or like a gap that like leads down, or if it's just the way the stones are set. There's a join all around the edges, but just by looking at it, you can't determine if there's like a space below, like a pit filled with spikes or something like that. You'd have to like do some other things to identify what's actually going on here.
I just kind of want to make a little circuit. Like I want to see what I can see. Any like little places in the walls, things could be hidden. Can I see into the center on what like might be in the center of the platform?
Yeah,
Anything
the platform is empty. It's just like a 2-inch high platform that goes 25 feet in the middle of the room, and there's nothing on it. The room is strangely clean. There's no alcoves or niches along the wall. You don't see any strange like markings or scrapings or anything. I think that there's probably like crocodile droppings down over here.
I will test the platform by throwing my mace onto it.
The big heavy one that you got, the wrought iron with the red runes. You toss your big heavy mace onto it. Kathonk. It clunks against the stone and sits on there with no problem.
I tentatively put one toe on the platform.
Yeah, your toe touches the platform.
Okay, I go retrieve my mace.
Yeah, you step onto the platform, retrieve your mace. There's no give, there's no like bounce, like it doesn't feel like you're about to drop into the nether regions of this pit. You know.
So I want to go back out to the switches. I try
Yeah.
the blue lever again. Is it still stuck?
Blue lever is still stuck.
All right, I'll flip the red switch.
All right, you lift the cover, you flip the red switch up. Nothing happens.
Now I try the blue lever.
Pull the blue lever. The platform starts grinding upwards. It's like a
Goodbye,
5 foot
Babs.
thick
Goodbye.
stone slab. Babs is not currently on the platform. Babs is
Okay.
over by the control mechanism, right? The platform starts grinding upwards, lifting towards the ceiling. Once it reaches about 7 feet high, you hear it before you see it. There's this sound of water dripping and then turning into a downpour as an iris opens in the ceiling and swamp water just starts pouring in, just flooding in from the top of this.
Flip the lever!
of this
Flip
room.
the lever!
You push the lever back up. Give me a saving throw. Let's see what kind. Give me a reflex saving throw. DC 10. Oh no! Okay, you managed to
is my
push the
luck so
lever
bad?
back up, but flooded swamp water just comes gushing out of the room in a wave, and it knocks you to your feet. You take 1 point of damage.
Oh man.
It's just D&D, like getting you down, Anna. Don't worry.
I take a point of damage from water?
Yes. I mean, this is it's like a 2 foot high tidal wave that sweeps you off your feet and you crack your chin on the ground, right? That's
Even though
what
I'm
happens
tall?
here. Even though you're super big.
Okay.
Bigger they are, the harder they fall.
I guess
That's
that's
right.
true. Well, I'm gonna, knowing that I only have a little time left before the singing competition is over, I'm gonna just take another look-see over here at this pool or whatever it is.
Yep.
Do I
It's,
see anything?
It's filled with gross, murky water. Are you lowering your torch over the pool to look at it super closely?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know how muddy water has that sort of warm glow to it when you're shining a flashlight on it or whatever? All of the water has that warm glow, but as you pass your torch over one portion of the water, it's just a little bit darker, as if the water were deeper there. And it's this square right here.
I want to take the human femur that I have with me. And I
Excellent. Good. Of course. Yes.
the whole pool is it
As you
seems like
do.
kind of a 4 foot deep kind of thing, and then this looks deeper.
It's hard. It's very difficult to say how deep it is. But certainly this part of it looks deeper. It's shallow enough that it the water is responding to the light as you move over it.
And this is the square, right?
Yep, you got it.
All right, so I'm gonna take the femur and poke down into the hole and see
Cool.
how deep it is.
You poke down into the hole and your arm goes way down in there and the human femur goes way down in there. I think arm and femur together don't actually reach the bottom of this hole, but you can sort of inscribe the edges of the hole and figure out how big it is. It's 5 feet across. The rest of the pool is actually quite shallow, maybe shin deep. But this bit right here is really actually quite deep.
So it could be a drain, or there could be something really interesting hidden down there.
It's true.
I think to myself. I want to. Let's see. I'm looking at my spells. And I am looking at Oh, I don't have it up. I'm looking for detect magic. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. All right. So I think that I can do that kind of quietly, right? I don't have to yell
detect
this
magic?
one. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you probably like mutter under your breath. Like it would be hearable by someone who was nearby, but you can definitely.
Cool. So I'm going to myself, cast detect magic. Hopefully. I got an 11, which means...
I think
Oh, it's just on the edge of failure.
Yep.
And I can burn any stat or just luck.
So you can spell burn in order to like consume your stamina, agility, or strength. Or you can burn your luck. Either of them. I think for sorcerers, actually, for wizards, it's stamina, agility, and strength actually come back easier.
I'm gonna burn another strength. I don't need to be super... Well, actually, I do want to be able to carry that mace. I'm gonna burn a personality... Wait, can I burn personality?
No.
Okay, has to be intelligence, strength, or agility, you said?
Yes.
Let's burn agility.
Cool. You burn 1 point of agility. You are aware of magical enchantment on any object or creature within range, and the range is 30 feet or more. The duration is 2 turns. So now for 20 minutes, you are detecting magic.
Do I detect any magic in the hole?
Let's see. It's a cone emanating from the wizard's holy symbol. Whatever that is. What's
Probably
your
my keg.
mercurial magic for casting this?
Oh yeah, it's good. It's a good one. It is psychic focus. For 1d4 rounds, I get +4 bonus to spell checks.
Oh
Nice.
shit, that's very
Roll 1d4
cool.
and tell me how many rounds.
3 rounds.
Nice. That's a short time outside of combat, but hey, cool. Let's see. Wizard is aware of magical enchantment on any object or creature within range. This includes weapons or armor worn by a creature as well as spells. The wizard cannot
And scrolls,
distinguish-
right? Magic scrolls. Yeah.
and magic scrolls.
Yeah, thank you.
Cannot distinguish which portions of the targets are magical. A creature enchanted by a spell or carrying a magic weapon or item simply registers as magical, so the true extent and nature of the magic is not always evident. You don't receive any information on the nature of the magical enchantment, only its existence. Objects behind 3 feet of wood, 1 foot of solid metal, or 1 foot of stone are not detected. So you do detect a magical aura.
In the hole?
It's coming from the huge mace that you are carrying.
Oh, poo. Nothing else?
You don't detect any magic from down in the hole.
Oh well. Then I'll skitter back while my spell is still active to the room.
Yeah,
Do another walkabout, see if I detect any magic in there.
cool. You do not. You're
Well-
sloshing through like 2 inches of muddy swamp water now.
And I'm looking like up and around, like I don't detect anything on other
You're
sides of
like
walls or
Detecting in all sorts of directions. Nope,
Yeah.
nope.
I guess I'll just make a little circuit while I still have this. Just
Cool.
walk all the way around.
You make a circuit of the room, and that's probably I'm gonna start a little counter on your token here. So let's see, you've got 2 turns. Let's say we're down to 19 minutes.
What's this little hallway?
Maybe
Do-do-do.
Goodbye, Babs.
Cool. Babs just wanders down this hallway.
Do-do-do.
You see another pool of water down there.
I tentatively try to walk through it.
Okay, cool, yes.
Leeches.
You step into the water, and then
No.
3 leeches
Oh
leap
my
out of the
God,
water at you.
Come on.
I run. Leeches! Leeches!
1 misses, and 2 of them hit you, doing 1 damage each. So you've taken, hang on, we're gonna put you back here. You've taken 2 damage from these 2 leeches that have leeched onto you, and each of them will do you 1 damage per round.
I run back to a fellow party member.
So you're quite far, unfortunately. We actually have to play this by the rules. So first of all, it's your turn.
Can I
What
try
do
to
you
remove
do?
them?
You can pull off a leech with 1 action.
Okay, I do that.
All right. You yank a leech off and throw it back in the water. You still got 1 leech attached. On its round, it's going to suck out 1 hit point of blood from you. But
I'm
you've
also
got 30,
screaming, leeches help.
You've got 30 feet of movement, so that's 6 squares.
Oh man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
I'm screaming into the cavern, help!
So the rest of the party hears shrieking, "Help, leeches! Leeches!" Does anybody respond?
Wow, y'all.
I was gonna say Evie looks around for Fiona and be like, "Oh, Fiona's really good with the." And then the responsibility hits her. Evie will head towards you, Babs.
Cool.
Thank
So
you.
you've
But
got
she's
60
far.
feet of movement.
Is that 60? This is I was down here.
Actually, let's double check.
Where's my?
Yeah. You've got 60 feet of movement.
Let me get to the opening, right?
Let's just see. Yeah. You can get like that
There.
far.
Beskri is also gonna come, equipped with her fully new armor that is super clean, but also has a little dent.
Yeah.
Or Druid's death. I mean, more than
Nice.
a little dent. It's really big.
Beskri, I think you can get this far.
Okay, I'm gonna get this far. Coming.
Nice. All right. Evie, you can see the light from Babs's torch from around the corner. Babs, a leech sucks out 1 hit point of blood from you.
Ow!
And then it's your turn again.
You're
I
pretty
try
low.
to pull that leech off.
You grab it with your hand and yank it off of you and throw it to the ground. Do you stomp on it?
No, I run.
Okay, cool. You run out of the hallway, running into Evie. You're alive, barely. But good job.
I cling to Evie. Help me! Help me!
What happened? What's in the hallway? What happened?
Leech.
Oh yeah, you did yell leeches. And she backs away from you to make sure there's no leeches on her. I don't have any healing abilities. Does anybody in our party anymore?
We don't.
You also didn't make or bring a cleric.
No.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so the party has recovered and gotten back together again. It seems as though you've explored like much of the options that exist in these caverns. Unless you wanted to like go down any of these side caverns or investigate this deep hole any further, what do?
The scroll. We must find the scroll.
Oh yeah, Babs has detect magic going still, right?
Yeah.
True.
I say aloud enough for the other knights to hear me. Did they?
Yeah.
They didn't leave, right?
Oh yeah, they left. They walked upstairs
Yeah, they
and
left.
they've.
Well, what if we hide and follow them?
Well, I mean, it's fine if they left. I thought we were gonna have to deal with like them fighting us, but if they already left to take care of the Strej impersonator, then
They
it
think
leaves
that
us-
they've arrested Strej.
Yeah, that leaves us to find the scroll.
Yes, we should find the scroll. We should imminently find the scroll, my dear comrades. Stretch is like suddenly in noble mode. He thinks he's villain. And then we shall get back to my horse, D'Artagnan.
Amazing. So, where do you go?
Let's see. The dome room? We didn't get that door open, or we got that door open, but it just kept filling with.
Yeah,
swamp
she
water.
opened the big double doors and then she pulled the lever down and it opened a hole in the ceiling that made water start pouring in.
So this southern room, this like half orb is now just full of swamp water.
Yeah. It's not completely filled with swamp water. It's like 2 inches deep. But there is a hole in the ceiling that you can open, which makes an elevator start rising up, but also swamp water start pouring in.
Are the rest of our party still upstairs?
Yes.
Babs goes upstairs.
Okay.
I'm out, yo. Peace.
We've done as much as we can.
Yeah. And Scribbles will, as Babs comes up and tells all these things that have happened, Scribbles is like, I have to record this. This is fantastic new information. I must know. So Scribbles will go down and join the party, but hang back as Scribbles is weak and has 1 hit point.
So we've got Babs back upstairs now.
Mm-hmm.
Is this also Babs? Okay, cool. Delete the Babs. We've got Babs back upstairs. These folks have left. One of them is dead, and it's Marat. Six. Cool. Yeah. These 4 have gone outside. Cool. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out who is on the other floor that we need to bring upstairs. So Babs moved upstairs. We've got Evie, Agnes, and Strej Dudet and Beskri. Is that it? These are the only characters who are left?
Those are our survivors.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So Strej, Evie, Beskri, and Agnes.
And I suppose Senga, if she's a token or not, or if she just follows.
I think she's generally assumed to be near Agnes.
Sweet.
Strej, Evie, Agnes. So Strej, Evie, Agnes, and who's the other one? Oh, here's Senga. We do have a token for Senga.
Beskri?
Beskri. Okay, cool. So, Babs actually came fully upstairs to collect Henley and
Scribbles traded
right?
places. So Babs came up, told everything that happened, was like, I'm out. I'm not doing this. I have 1 hit point. I just got to stay safe. Henley's like taking a protective stance in front of Babs. And then Scribbles, titillated by the research that they could do downstairs, rushes down to peer around the corner and try to rejoin the front lines.
Cool.
And
so Scribbles
on
heads like
Roll20,
downstairs.
I have just like a black screen. Am I in the wrong place?
I think we've gone up a floor.
Yeah, we've gone up a
Refresh
floor, but let me like grab you over to this area.
Perfect.
Does that show you where you are?
Yes, except I am still in the upstairs map.
Yes, we are looking at the upstairs map right now.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we want to do?
Have
Babs
no
still has
Neal.
detect magic running, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's put that down to 15 minutes now, and I'll put a little magical symbol on you. You got detect magic running. Is there anything magical that you can detect nearby? I don't think so.
Is there any do we have any information about where the scroll could be? Is there anything that we can recall?
So I think you've explored a good chunk of this level, but not like the entire thing. So like maybe you should take a look around the level and see if there are any spaces that you haven't searched yet.
One thing I would be looking for at this point, based on our prior adventures, as Agnes remembers them, is that we found a variety of prisoners in one of our first places, and we were able to recruit some of those to swell our broken numbers.
Yes.
And so Agnes is right now trying to think if there was anywhere we saw along the way that we could maybe get more warm bodies to put between her and any other potential Froghemith before we continue the exploration.
Back to the prison cells. There's like somebody under the rubble.
You.
There were like a bunch of people who just joined us, so just to bring you up to speed, what happened is we just killed a giant frog monster called the Froghemith, and some of our characters are very low health and have decided they no longer care what happens, and some of them are still interested in pressing on because we have this magical scroll that we need to find now that we've defeated the beast. And the system we're using is called Dungeon Crawl Classics. It's pretty brutal. Most of our characters are very weak, and it's very meat grindery, and they usually die every time we play.
Yes, about half to most of them are level 0 right now, which is why we're lacking a lot of utility, and why I'm hoping to scrape up some more peons off the street to swell our numbers.
And some of us have no characters left at all.
Yeah.
I believe that we have in fact lost 2 characters this very session already.
I only have one character that actually has any developed skills, and that's Babs, and she has 1 hit point left. I won't lose her.
It's like, I have Stretch, but he has 3 hit points. So like, I'm always a little scared.
Rich in hit points.
Yeah.
Rich.
And Agnes is strong, but one of her legs got turned into gold, and so getting up and down the stairs is kind of like you gotta make your choice now, because she's only doing it once.
That happened because you explored an alchemist's laboratory last time. You found a strange potion, fumbled trying to get it out, and it splashed on someone nearby, which was Agnes, and it turned her leg into gold. So now you're carrying around a solid gold leg, which is detached from your body, incidentally.
Who would spill a potion on you?
I don't know, but she definitely owns the entirety of the leg. It is her leg, and she's sort of peg-legging it around right now with the assistance of her tiny familiar, Senga, which is a much smaller but stronger old lady, and very helpful. So yeah, I think you're caught up now on our party, but it's decimated as we began this conversation.
If you find a gold to flesh spell, you can turn your leg back into flesh, which will be great, even though it is no longer attached to your body.
But the money.
Yeah. Turn my leg to wood, turn my gold to cash.
Yeah, so you've got some space. There were some prison cells. You didn't see any survivors in them last time. There are some doors you haven't gone through in this dungeon, but you have to tell me where you go.
Babs is like, y'all should just go down that hallway. Watch out for the leashes, but there might be scroll down there. I don't know.
Stairs. The upstairs. The treasure pit.
Wait, treasure pit?
Wait, Evie grabs the hand of Agnes and grabs the hand of Babs and just says, I just want to take a moment, because we did lose a lot of people here today, and we lost a lot of guidance and a lot of strength, and just, why don't we listen to their voices and see what they would want? Neal?
You hear echoes of the voices of Neal's, many Neals.
Babs pours one out for the people that were lost.
The staircase that goes up to the thing that we haven't looked at yet, but it's guarded by a monster, so be really careful.
Okay,
Am I super drunk, or did I just hear something?
Evie, are you having like a religious moment?
The treasure pit! She cries and releases their hands and says, oh, where was I don't know what that was. I think there's fumes in this dungeon. Maybe we should go out of here.
Okay, Bethcree follows whatever Evie said and suddenly believes that she has been spoken to by the gods. So Bethcree is gonna follow along wherever you point her to.
Babs likes treasure, so.
That tracks.
Yeah. Evie has no convictions of her own, but did hear the echoing of wiser warriors, so we will follow to the treasure pit.
Where is the treasure pit?
Upstairs in the place we haven't explored yet.
Cool. Yep. Okay, cool.
Said the voice to me, not to you guys as well, yes?
Awesome. Someone lead the way. Grab your token. Start moving around the map. Show me
the
where
way
you're going.
anywhere. Babs is not leading.
Bethcree will go along with Evie.
Agnes is old and tired and just wants everybody to make a decision, so she grabs her leg and starts stumping along with the assistance of Senga at the front. And now she feels like a schoolmarm with several small ducks behind her.
I believe this crocodile down here in the
Oh,
corner
God.
is sleeping fitfully.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Whoops. Forgot
Cool.
about that.
Yep.
We're really good at
All right, awesome. So the crew tiptoes gently past the sleeping crocodile, which is sleeping because of a magical spell cast
Yeah.
on it by someone last time. I think it might have been
Stretch.
Stretch
Yeah. Stretch
Who's a
walks
frog, by the way.
and he like keeps singing the crocodile sleep song. He's like, sleepy crocky. Grr, grr, grr. He keeps, yeah. We all come along.
Cool. Yeah, continue your path.
Lead us, Evie.
Evie's behind Agnes. Agnes is a little turned around in the dungeon. We're gonna be going through this library and then back into the larger circle area, right? Yes.
Cool. Yeah, you head over into the next room through the door. This is like a lecture hall. There's a humanoid corpse dissected on the altar in the front. I think that you identified that it was bitten by a crocodile before death.
But it comes back to life and it's Neal. You hear groans.
And so when Agnes and Senga reach this critical and pivotal doorway, they stand to the side of it and gesture, both invitingly for everyone that's not them to go through.
Okay. Beskri opens the door.
Cool.
Channeling
Yep.
her inner Lurgui.
The door opens easily.
Beskri.
You've got this sort of arcing hallway beyond. There's another door across from you. Sort of down to the right, aka to the left on the map, to the west. You see at the end of the hallway this like frog mouth sculpture, a frowning frog head on the wall.
With the
There's a-
scroll, right?
There's a door over here, and then like down over this way, the hallway just descends into darkness. But you sort of remember there being a staircase over there.
Yeah.
And Evie very clearly remembers that that's probably the one attached to where Fiona died, so don't go that way.
Which
She's gonna guide you, Beskri, over to the right here and join
this
you.
way, that way, this way, that way, that way,
This way?
this
Okay.
way. Okay.
And Agnes, not wanting to be the last in a room, is also gonna scoot right through there.
Cool,
Stre-
cool.
Stretching's out in the back with Babs.
I see that we have D coming
Together.
along just for the visibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The corpse.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Okay. Beskri opens the door.
Okay, let's see what happens when you open the door.
Oh God.
Where do I change dynamic lighting? This.
Lurgui,
Delete.
Knight of the Overlord.
All right. You see into the next hallway. It looks like just sort of a long hallway. Sort of in the distance, you can see, some doors.
Okay, we're still good. All right, so, third time is a charm.
And there's no magic that I have detected as we've been walking along, right?
Correct. Whoops.
Yeah.
As Evie's walking too, she's listening for like the sound of literally any other living creature, like scraping behind doors or
Oh, good
splashing.
idea. Smart. Very smart.
Babs, as you approach walking up here, you're at the sort of the back of the group, I see.
A leech jumps.
I'm
A
gonna be
leech
so mad.
jumps out and
I'm gonna be
kills
so
you with
mad.
1 point of damage. You detect magic.
Where? What?
Well, it's hard to tell specifically from your position at the back of the group, but it seems to be coming from somewhere off in this away.
There's magic over there, guys. Guys, magic. Magic.
Evie throws herself against the opposite wall from the door that you pointed out. Like,
Evie, you can see inscrawled on the door a charcoal sigil that looks like
God.
some sort of like stylized burning eye.
it looks like the amulet that wait, does somebody else have an eyeball amulet? There's a lot of eyeballs and magic.
It's the Overlord
An
symbol or
eyeball.
something. Maybe there's a scroll in there. Someone open it.
Wait. Vespri takes out the amulet and pretends something's gonna happen.
Evie scoots away from you down the hallway.
Beskri, as you take out the amulet, it's very clear that like the eye on the amulet and the like very stylized burning eye sigil inscribed on the door are very different.
Oh, she puts the amulet back into her pocket and is really disappointed.
Somebody open the door. Somebody other than me open the door.
Agnes will send Senga to do it.
Let's go, Senga. We believe in you.
And Senga is just for everybody's reference, like 3.5 feet tall, just like wrinkly old crone lady, but like strong as heck. So she kind of walks up to the door and she's like, BAM! And just
I think she's actually like 6 inches tall.
6 inch? Oh wow, she's really tiny.
She sits on your shoulder sometimes, right?
No, I thought she rode
yeah.
the horse and stuff. My bad.
Yeah, she's tiny.
Oh, I thought she was like a
I thought I remembered her being like 2 feet tall too.
yeah, like a you know, more of a
So
cube
Agnes, what's your luck?
let's see. My luck as Agnes is decreasingly good because I keep spending it. It is 9 of 9.
Okay. Your luck is high enough that the game master says to you, do you really want to send your familiar to open the door with a magical symbol written on it?
Agnes is just defiant enough to want to, but Senga wants to live, and so pauses just a centimeter from the door and goes, sure?
Considering that Babs has detect magic, could she have more information about this? Is there any check she
No,
could do?
specifically not with the result that she got. She can detect that magic exists, but no information about it.
What about
Maybe
Stretch?
check the non-magical things first.
Evie like freezes as the voice like wafts through her ears.
Evie 100% having a spiritual moment here.
Stretch. No, nothing I could roll.
So, Babs, as you wander this hallway, you can see that there are a number of these doors with these purple X's on them. All of these doors have magical aura.
God damn.
And all of them have the same sort of stylized eye on fire symbol inscribed on them in charcoal.
Eye on fire.
There's
Do
no
I-
sound from beyond them?
I know that I can't determine anything more about the magic, but just as a wizard who knows things about stuff, when I see a rune that is put on a door in charcoal, is there anything that would tell me like this is probably like a magic seal on the door?
So the kinds of things that you know of that are runes on doors are like spells that are like the lock spell that forces the door to stay shut, or some sort of like magical ward that prevents like hearing or entry, or straight up is just like a trap, will just like burn anybody who touches it. Like, these are the kinds of things that runes on doors are usually used to do.
I think totally for my own brain that we should check the non-magical things first.
Okay, yeah. This sounds
Totally
very smart.
without having
Reasonable.
just heard that voice in my head.
Okay. So.
Senga slowly lowers her second foot and deflates.
Oh, look! 2 non-magical doors with no sigils on it.
You should probably go inside and see what's in there.
Okay. Beskri like steps to the side and like tentatively opens the door without standing into the.
You open the door and it creaks open.
She peeks.
It
head.
looks like a dormitory room. There's like a poster of like some hot elf hunk. Like
And from the shadows comes out the hot elf unk, which is Neal.
stepping into like a hot springs pool, and like the water is like just above the butt cleavage line. Like, yeah,
I had that Legolas poster. I know which one you mean.
there you go. There's like a poorly made bed. There's like a desk with like an old burnt down candle on it. It's very obviously like these are the dormitories for the school, the Froghemith school that you're in. On the bedside table adjacent to the bed, there's a moldering brown leather pouch that has like over the years deformed into the shape of the coins that are contained inside Beskri.
Beskri grabs the coins.
There are 23 gold coins. in this.
Ew. So one of the rich college kid schools.
She says nothing to see in this room except a glorious poster of a really odd elf. I hope we meet him. Sorry, how many coins? Plus
23.
23. Okay.
I want to yell at one of the doors, the magic doors. Anybody in there?
Yeah. As you yell at the magical door, anybody in there? You hear from around the corner the sound of someone saying, help! Hey, is there anyone out there? Help us! And Neal, would you roll 1d3?
Yes!
Thank God. Oops, that is just
elf.
oh.
Cut elf.
Amazing. All right, let's see what we have to do. I think you. How
After
do we
the poster.
do this? Is
You gotta
it?
get him out.
I'm looking at macros to see. I think it's just Chargen. Do you have the button in the lower left-hand corner, Neal?
I do. Shall I press it?
Yes. Click the Chargen button.
Attempted to push the button.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried it twice now.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe I gave my dagger to freaking the noble guy and now it's gone.
If I click it, yes, nothing happens. Let me go to the macros. Right. Let's see if I can do that. That doesn't do anything. So I think that our scripts are simply broken right now. So we'll just have to roll you a new character via a different method. DCC 0 level character generator. Googler, purple sorcerer. DCC RPG rulebook, 3d6 as Krob intended. I want a 1 character PDF index card.
Can't believe Steven thought we'd finish this quest today.
We yet might. We've got 2 more hours. Or what? Yeah. 1.5. Anyway, you open the door to reveal a dwarven stonemason with 1 HP and an AC of 9.
Aw.
I'll paste this into our Discord, and Neal, you can like manually enter the information when we go on our next break. Bonk. There you go. Cool. Okay, let's get a token out for the dwarven stonemason that we've just discovered.
Ooh, those hats. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Five stamina.
Let's see. Neal, roll 1d3 for me, please.
Another 1d3.
Another 1d3. 1 will be she, her. 2 will be they, them. 3 is he, him. This is a dwarven stonemason who uses he, him pronouns and looks like this. Details, dwarven stonemason. Nameplate controlled by Neal. Save settings. Ta-da! Here we have a dwarven stonemason with 1 HP and
Huzzah!
9 armor. Fantastic. Cool. Your backstory, of course, is that you were wandering in the swamp, Suppy. You were wandering in the swamp when all of a sudden, an ancient hag rose up out of the waters and dragged you off to her lair, which happened to be really quite well furnished, all things considered. And then they locked you in this room.
My God, let me out, please! You wonderful, amazing, beautiful people. Please let me out of this draught and dreary cage. Pretty girls, handsome boys, please let me out.
Evie starts taking a couple steps back.
I mean, you sure don't look like that elf on the picture I just saw, but I guess that'll do. Vescree opens his cage.
Scribbles is taking down the story.
And who put you here? Oh, interesting. Do you know what height were they? Oh, interesting. Okay.
Taking down all the notes.
You most studious indeed, aren't you?
Oh, yes, very much so.
What a joy it is to be surrounded by such intellectuals, such strong-willed, intelligent people.
Feels good to be appreciated. Thank you. And what did you say your name was?
My name is Suppy.
Ah, Suppy. Is that short for anything, or
No, it was a name given to me by my dear mother after her favorite athlete of all time.
I thought it might be short for superior.
Oh, no. If anything, it's short for supportive.
Ah.
Evie's looking back and forth between these two in the middle of a meet cute,
Do you know if there's any other prisoners here?
Why, I do. There are. Are there?
No,
There are not.
There are zero other prisoners.
The last
For
person
now.
they took, and I heard terrible sounds. And
There's one thing, Suppy, that you might know.
but
Which
there's
is
one
that-
thing I might know.
You heard the hag talking about storing things in the tower.
The only thing I know for sure that there's a hag who dragged me here from where I was before. That she took the things, whatever these things are, to the tower, high up, or low down in the basement. I'm not sure. In the tower somewhere. But it'll take strong, brave heroes like you to decipher the mysticism of this prophecy.
Do you know where the tower is?
I am but a lowly dwarf. I don't know such lofty knowledge.
All right, well,
I suspect we could look for stairs.
good idea.
I look back at the party because I am not a leader. And I look like, who's going to walk down the hall?
I guess Vesker's gonna keep walking.
Oh, Evie leans around you both and asks Suppy, Suppy, what are in the purple marked rooms?
You know, I've been on the inside so long, I don't even remember what the outside looks like.
It's been one day.
It's been a long day, okay? It's been a COVID day.
Yeah.
Did he come out of this room, or is that the room we haven't
Yeah,
looked at
that's
yet?
the room that we opened.
Oh,
So
okay.
hang on, I can clear the dynamic lighting blocker. Yes, I think. Yep, there we go. Delete. Cool.
And the
What's
ones with the
this
purple X's on
golden-
the...
Why is there
They're the
golden
ones with
corpse?
runes on them.
Okay.
No, there was a corpse, but I turned it into Suppy.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Okay, well, since we're done with this and don't want to deal with the magic thing, let's go up to some staircase. Aha! I feel very empowered to now be like Jewelry. I'm forgetting her name
Did we
already.
check? We checked any of the other non-magical doors?
You checked this room. Let's see. Let me make sure that
And
I've
that
gotten
room.
rid
Maybe
of-
we forgot this
Let's see.
room actually.
Yeah, I think there's one more that we didn't
Okay,
check.
let me open it up.
All right, Vescree.
I step aside.
Scribbles
You
is
Step to the
following
side
closely.
and open the door. And I think I've got to do this. Blanc.
Close the door. Close the door. Close the door.
Close it.
You open the door, and a gargantuan ooze just like lurches
Oh,
upwards
no.
and reaches the slime tentacle out in your direction. This
I
is
attempt to close it.
a clear jelly with a roiling ring of energy, like a donut boiling at its core. And you just close the door.
I attempt to close the door, yes, immediately.
Sorry to disturb you, sir.
And I go, nope, 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 big nope.
Nothing.
What
And I
speed?
think
What
that-
reaction times?
And I think that might be the image at which we take our second 5-minute break. And when we come back, we can explore more of this foul arena.